Good evening, radio fans, and welcome to another exciting episode of Walker and O'Dare. Jimmy Walker's attempts to reform his life have been put on hold while he tries desperately to free his gal Friday, Trix O'Dare, on trial for the murder of a gangster. Tonight's episode, The Bitter End. But first, a word from our sponsor. Looking to invest your savings into something with higher returns than stuffing it into your mattress? Are you understandably wary of banks? Lack confidence in the American dollar? You are not alone. Were you aware that in some circles, cigarettes are not only accepted as currency, but are preferable to cash money? Neither did your friends at the Capone family, until recently. So drop by today and exchange your gold for reasonably creditworthy Capone family cigarettes. When we last left our heroes, Jimmy had just made a bargain with the sinister newspaper magnate, Mr. Crest, and was promised information that would lead him to Tipper Ryan's killer. Our story now takes us to a dark alley off 42nd, a haven for thugs and derelicts. At the mouth of the street, lit by the yellowy glow of a dirty streetlight, stand two familiar figures. As one of them pauses to light a cigarette, we hear, "You sure this is the place, Jimmy?"
Well, this is the place that Crest said to go. Whether it's the right place remains to be seen.
What do you think we'll find here?
Thugs, drunks, business girls, and with any luck at all, the man that you saw killed Tipper Ryan. You think you can recognize him?
He wore a mask, but I'd know that voice anywhere.
Now, the doc said that you went into shock after he shot you. How much do you remember?
Not much, really. Just the voice.
You sure you're up to this?
Don't start that again. I told you I'm in on this now. I don't care if I am in a sling, especially after what happened to Tipper.
Well, good, because you're all the help that I've got. Crest said once we were here, we should ask for some guy named Batty.
Okay. Well, let's say we find the killer. What does that get us? How does it help Trix?
Well, to be honest, I don't know. But I've got no choice but to run down any lead that I can think of.
Hey, handsome. What kind of cigs you got?
Capone's. Slow roasted. The best there are.
Any chance I could get one?
Help yourself.
Thanks. Maybe there's something I can do for you?
Maybe there is.
You name it, baby.
What's your name?
Call me Dazzle.
Well, Dazzle, I'm looking for someone.
And you found me. Come on. I got somebody for your friend, too.
Actually, we're looking for someone in particular. Can you tell me where I can find someone called Batty?
Batty? Oh, you don't need Batty, honey. Not with a mug like yours. Come on with me. I'll show you a good time.
And there's $50 in it for you if you can tell me where Batty is.
$50? Oh, I didn't know you felt that way about it, honey. For that much money, I'll take you to her myself.
Her?
Oh, yeah, honey, her. And she will just be tickled to see you. In a manner of speaking.
Who is it?
It's me, Dazzle. Open up.
You back early. Slow night?
Not too bad. Got some business for us. Pretty boy here wants to meet Batty.
Not a usual type. Might be a nice change. Boy, one of yous guys?
Just me. My friend here might use your help, Dazzle.
Well,
Sure thing, honey. Come on, kiddo. I'll show you the view from my bedroom window.
What can you see from there?
Plenty.
Batty's down that hallway. Third door on your left, Mac.
Thanks. Well, guess this is it.
Come in.
Hi. I'm, looking for Batty?
You found her. Come on in and shut the door. I don't know your voice. You're not one of my regulars.
No, we've never met. My name is Jimmy.
You want to sit down?
Sure. A little dark in here, isn't it?
You can turn on a light if you want, precious. Makes no difference to me. I leave it off because most of my boys prefer it that way. No mirrors here either, so you don't have to worry. Come here. Sit next to me. Some boys don't like me to touch their faces, but it's a good way for me to keep everybody straight. May I?
Sure.
You're not like most of my boys. Everything seems to be in the right place. Still, some fellas don't like their faces for other reasons. Would you like to talk about it? A lot of my boys do.
Actually, well, yes. I did want to ask, well...
Shh. Don't be nervous, Precious. We can talk about anything you want.
Actually, I'm not here for that. I came because someone told me that you might be able to help me.
Oh?
You see, Babby, I'm looking for a man who killed a friend of mine. I was told you might be able to help.
Now, what would I know about murder?
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure. I wasn't given any details, just told to ask for Batty.
Who told you?
Well, he didn't say not to use his name, so I guess it's all right. George Herbert Crest?
I've heard of Crest, but I've never met him. Who was killed?
Well, it's a long story. My girl is on trial for murder. The victim was abusing a friend of hers, and last night her friend was killed to keep her from testifying. The man who did it wore a mask, and he had a strange, raspy voice. Anybody you know?
Yes, I think I know who you mean.
Really?
Someone who used to come visit me. I don't see him anymore.
Why?
Let's just say he wasn't the type of person who'd be mixed up in something like this. He is the type of person who would be.
Well, what's his name? Where can I find it?
I never knew his right name. He told me to call him Boss. I've been asked to do stranger things. I do remember him wearing a mask.
Well, how could you tell? I mean, how...
I heard him take it off.
Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry.
It's all right. People often ask me questions like that.
You mind if I ask you a few more questions? Can you tell me anything else about this Boss character?
Well, I can give you a pretty good idea of why he wore that mask.
Ugly?
Injured. One of the worst I've ever come across. And that's saying something. He let me touch his face once. Half of it was missing. Of course, that's pretty common among the boys that come and see me.
Why?
That's my clientele. I get a lot of veterans, guys hurt in accidents, bad scars and such. They want to be able to be close to someone without seeing her wince when they first walk in. I can do that. Some just come to talk.
And one of them killed a girl to keep her quiet. How long has it been since Boss was here?
Couple of weeks. I told him he wasn't welcome anymore. I didn't like the way he spoke to me. I've reached the point where I don't need anybody's business.
Well, how'd he take it?
Not well, but I don't scare easy, and Mike at the front door is used to handling things like this. I might be able to give you something else too. I noticed that a car always came and picked him up every time he left. Expensive from the sound of it. I asked him about it once and he bragged that it was a Model J Duesenberg. A car like that would get noticed in a neighborhood like this.
Batty, you're brilliant.
I think you're cute too.
I've got to get going, but this is for you. $50. Thanks for the info.
I usually ask people to pay me in dollar bills so I can count them, but I guess I'll trust you.
Thanks, Batty. Trust is in short supply these days.
How do you mean?
Well, I'm just thinking that the guy who sent me here probably knows exactly who I'm looking for, but he's going to make me jump through hoops just to prove that he can.
Not necessarily, Jimmy. I'm pretty well known in certain circles. Most guys around here with the busted clock have found their way to me eventually, and I never forget a face. Perhaps your man just put two and two together.
Maybe. Anyhow, thanks, Batty.
Don't mention it. Come back around sometime. You can tell Batty where it hurts.
Well, Jimmy, I'd say Batty did this one solid. Pretty much everyone we've talked to has noticed that car. Thing is, nobody can tell us where it goes when it leaves here.
Well, we might not need to know that.
What do you mean?
Well, let's start by finding a phone and calling Conway at the hospital. I've got a question for him.
Conway's not at the hospital. He checked himself out. He said he would be at the courthouse in case the jury announced it would return a verdict. They wrapped up closing arguments yesterday.
The man is a machine. He's been taking quite a pounding lately. Well, let's call him anyway. Then I think I better pay a call on little Eddie.
Are you sure, Jimmy? He's top dog in the rackets now. He won't take kindly to you snooping around.
If I had let that stop me, I would have never gotten into this line of work. Come on, let's find that phone.
City Courthouse. Who? Oh yes, you did say you might get a call. One moment, please. Oh, Major! Call for you.
Conway here. That you, Walker? They're due to reconvene at 8 o'clock. Yes, the jury apparently has reached a verdict. Where have you been all night? Oh? Find anything? You have. You're going where? Do you need me to meet you there? Right, I'll stay and keep an eye on things here. Well, I've certainly read the trial transcripts. Identify the body? Well, the coroner's report said there was an identifying mark on the victim's left hand, a scar Kaspari had since childhood. Not that there was any doubt about who the victim was. I say, Walker, where does that get you? Walker. Walker! My word.
Only half an hour till the trial reconvenes. Are you sure this is where we want to be?
This is Little Eddie's house in town. From the looks of it, he and his boys are all at his estate outside the city.
What are we looking for?
Let's check the garage.
Sure. It's locked.
Let me. All right. Let's go. See if you can find a light switch.
Here's one. Well, would you look at that?
A Model J Duesenberg. I had a feeling we'd find it here.
So little Eddie and his goons are behind all this. Funny. You'd think he'd be glad Trix bumped off his boss. They weren't friends, that's for sure.
Hey, where do you think those stairs go?
One way to find out.
What have we here?
Caretaker's apartment?
Maybe. Let's take a look around. I'll check the other rooms and you look in here.
Right. What's this? Jimmy, look over here.
What is it?
These are all the newspaper clippings from Trix's trial.
Figures.
Why are you looking around like that, Jimmy?
I'm just noticing something. There are no mirrors in this apartment. None in the bedroom, not even in the bathroom.
What do you think it means?
Shh. You hear that? Somebody's coming.
Quick, hide!
Anyone else who want to go tonight?
Yeah, just let me know when the paper comes out. There's something I want to see.
I know that voice. That's the guy who killed Tipper, I'm sure of it.
Get ready. We'll tackle him when he comes in. Now!
What the? Jimmy, look out!
Oh!
Hey! Oh!
Hold on, kid! Are you alright?
Who is this guy? He almost took us both out.
Well, I'm not sure, but I have a hunch. Find something to tie him up with. He's coming with us. Court will reconvene in 10 minutes in the matter of the people of New York versus Trix O'Dare.
Major, you're here.
Hello, Miss O'Dare. How are you?
Best as can be expected. The bailiff just told my lawyer the jury is ready with a verdict. They weren't out very long.
No, they weren't.
That's not a good sign, is it, Major?
I won't lie to you, Miss O'Dare. It would be better sign if they had taken longer.
It's all right, though. No sense dragging it out.
Now, what on earth is he doing here?
Who?
A well-dressed man with two bodyguards who's coming up the aisle. That's George Herbert Crest.
G.H. Crest? What does he want?
I don't know. Walker said he'd gotten some information from Crest, perhaps.
Major, is Jimmy coming?
I just spoke to him. He had something else to take care of.
It's better that he doesn't come. But I would have liked to have seen him one last time.
He still might get here. The jury hasn't even come in yet.
Major, in case I don't get a chance to later, I want to thank you for all you've done.
It was my pleasure, Miss O'Dare, to be of service. Pleasure I look forward to doing again in the future.
An optimist to the bitter end, huh?
We mustn't lose hope that it won't be bitter, but yes.
Major, the jury's coming in.
Yes, here they are.
They're not looking at me. I read somewhere that a jury won't look at somebody they found guilty. I don't think I would.
Man, our friend here is heavy. Where are we taking him?
To the New York County Courthouse. He's going to be a surprise witness.
But the jury's already out. There isn't time for more testimony.
Please, kid, just do what I ask. We need plenty of the right witnesses for what I have in mind to work, and even then, it's only a 50-50 chance.
Well, how are we going to get him there?
Well, let's get him downstairs, and then we'll figure out the rest.
Jimmy, we are carrying a 6-foot gorilla. He is unconscious, tied up, and wearing a mask. What are we going to do, hail a cab?
I'll admit, we do seem a little conspicuous. You think it would help if we took the mask off?
Let's see.
Oh, yeah, no, that doesn't help.
What happened to him?
I'm beginning to think I know. Put it back on him.
Hey, who's in there?
Uh-oh, company.
We gotta hide.
Lefty, that you?
Hey, get in the car.
Lucky our friend here didn't lock the doors.
Luckier still if he left the keys in the ignition.
Hey, you!
Hey, quick, kid, lock the doors and roll the windows up.
What's that gonna do?
Just do it!
All right.
Ha! Just as I thought. It's an armored car. The glass is an inch thick, completely bulletproof. At first.
Well, we can't stay here forever. Eventually they're gonna get to us. Is there a key?
And no such luck. I'm gonna crack the steering column and try to hotwire it.
How long has it been since you boosted a car?
Relax, kid. I've been doing this since I was a juvenile delinquent.
Better do it faster.
I can't imagine what's keeping them.
It's all right, Major. Jimmy's just keeping a promise to me. I told him when it looked like it was all up, he should get out of town. He really needs to skip the country altogether. Major, will you help him do that?
You have my word. I will be of whatever assistance I can.
I appreciate that, Major. I'm sure Jimmy does too.
All rise for the Honorable Mufflin Caulfield. Be seated.
Gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
Let's have the envelope.
Jimmy, I think our friend here is coming too.
Oh, terrific. What are they doing outside the car?
Well, they stopped shooting. Uh-oh.
What?
There are 3 other cars in the garage. They're turning them on. They're leaving. I think they're locking the side door. There are no windows here.
Well, that ain't good.
Jimmy, the carbon monoxide from the exhaust will asphyxiate.
Hey, just a few more seconds. Ha ha! There we go. That brings back memories. Hold on, kid. We're about to set a new land speed record in this tank.
Jimmy, we gotta open the garage door. It's still shut.
Not for long, it isn't. Hold on to your hat, kid.
Return this envelope to the foreman. Mr. Foreman, are you prepared to read the verdict in court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Proceed.
We, the jury, in the matter of the people of New York versus Beatrice Ottarello, find the defendant guilty.
Order! Does the jury have a sentencing recommendation in this case?
We have, Your Honor. Given the serious nature of the crime and the defendant's lack of remorse, we recommend the sentence of death by the electric chair.
Hit him again, psych! We can't have him waking up until we get to the courthouse.
Strange, don't you think? The way those goons tried to do us in, it's like they didn't care that one of their own was in here with us.
I don't think that he is one of their own. Not anymore, anyways. How much further to the courthouse?
Not long now. Take this left.
The court will take the jury's recommendation under advisement. The jury is excused. The defendant is remanded for sentencing. Court is adjourned.
Hey, you can't come in here like that.
Out of the way, Mac.
What's going on over there?
Jimmy!
Order! Order! Bailiff, remove these men from my court!
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I'm afraid I need everyone's attention for this.
Who the devil are you, and what is this This...
My friend here in the mask is the guest of honor at this trial. The reason that we're all here, and the very reason why we shouldn't be here in the first place. His name is John Kaspari. And he used to be known as Handsome John, but that's just not the case anymore.
Do you mean to say that a fraud has been perpetrated on this court?
If that you mean, that has the wool been pulled over your eyes, then yes. John Kaspari survived the attempt on his life, but it left him horribly disfigured. He let the word go out that he'd been killed, and he used his friends on the police force and the DA's office to engineer this trial to ensure his revenge. He wanted to see Beatrice Odorello executed for murder, and you folks nearly gave him his wish. If you don't believe me, check his hand. You'll find the scar used to identify the body of John Kaspari. Only he wasn't any more dead then than he is now.
But this is fantastic! Why? 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 Let's see if you still ask why once I take this mask off!
Look out, his hands are free!
Everybody stand back!
Look at me! All of you. Look what she did to me. Handsome John I was, now I don't even look human! I couldn't let myself be seen, let alone run things the way I used to. Not like this. Little Eddie was only too happy to take things over for me. Let me shut myself away while he snickered behind my back with his goons. But I was willing to take that, provided they helped me get you, O'Dare. It took 2 years to find you, to set it all up. But I was gonna make you pay. Pay! I had nothing else to live for. And I didn't want it to be quick. I wanted it to be slow, like the days have been for me. I wanted you to have to watch the hours tick down, till the minute they were gonna strap you into the chair and fry you. I wanted to be there when it happened. I was gonna walk in just before they threw the switch and whisper my name in your ear and take off the mask. Then you would have died, and the last thing you would have ever seen was my face!
I did what I did to keep you from killing Tipper. If I had aimed better, she'd still be alive.
Yeah, I got even with her too, just like I'm gonna get even with you.
Look out, he's got a gun!
Trix!
No, Jimmy!
Don't anybody move! You, bailiff, throw your gun on the floor! All right, O'Dare. I may not get to see you executed, but I'm gonna see you die. Get out of the way, Walker.
Let go of me, Jimmy.
Never.
Fine then, 2 birds with 1 stone. Oh! Who fired that shot? Who fired that shot?
Nice shooting, Mr. Crest.
Thank you, Major. Forgive me, Your Honor, I thought it best to intervene. I was protecting an investment of mine.
The following evening, 2 men stand near the gangplank of a steamer bound for Europe. The dock is foggy and deserted. No fond farewells go with this lonely voyage. Not far away, a car sits quietly, expectantly.
It would appear that your keeper is here.
Well, he said that he would be.
Are you sure about this?
It's the only way. I had to make a lot of promises to get Trix out of this one once and for all. I'm pretty sure that I've used up all the patience and whatever pity Mr. Crest has.
It's a little unnerving to think about how much power he has. To get her a pardon like that with only a few phone calls.
Exactly. And that's why I can't afford to play around with this one. Gotta stay on my leash.
I don't mean to pry, Walker, but why can't O'Dare stay here with you?
Crest said that she was too well known in this town. It would be better and safer for her to be out of the country. I had to agree.
As do I, but there's something else, isn't there?
Well, nothing that matters. Well, they're here.
Jimmy!
Hi, baby.
Oh, Jimmy. Jimmy, what's going on? First my lawyer says it might be a while before I'm released. Then the matron hands me my stuff and sneaks me out the back door. I don't understand.
I pulled a few strings to speed things up.
Oh, Jimmy.
But the deal is, You gotta leave town tonight. You'll be leaving on this ship. Conway will make sure that you get back safe to Paris.
Honey, you talk like you're not going with me.
Well, I'll join you as soon as I can.
When?
I'm not sure.
Please don't do this to me, Jimmy. Honey, I love you. Please don't leave me.
Now listen, and listen good. If it were up to me, I'd get back on this boat with you right now and we'd never look back.
Why don't you?
Walker!
Who's that?
Mr. Crest is waiting.
Mr. Crest? Jimmy, what's he got to do with this?
Conway will explain.
You explain it.
I have to go, baby.
Haven't got all day here.
I promised myself when I was in the clink that if I ever got out of there, I'd never be away from you again.
I promised myself the same thing. But I'm awful lousy at promises.
Walker!
Goodbye, baby.
Jimmy, please.
Listen, you're only safe if I get you on that ship.
He's right, Miss O'Dare.
I'll be there as soon as I can.
Jimmy!
Sorry to hurry you along, but we have a schedule to keep. Plus, there's no sense in dragging out such emotional scenes. I do hope you're not going to be sullen.
Me? I'm as happy as a clam.
Sarcasm will do little for you, Jimmy. I've already been overly generous. The young woman is safer out of New York, that much should be obvious.
You won't hear me argue with that.
Besides, you'll need to keep your mind on your assignments for a while.
I click better when she's around.
Perhaps, but we'll have to see how you do on your own power for the time being. There was no room for her in my organization.
What's that supposed to mean?
Working for me is a privilege, Jimmy. It's something you earn. You earned it when you passed a little test I set up for you. Not a very hard test, really. I wanted to see what you would do if I gave you just a little piece of information, pointed you in the right direction. I must say you did all right, all things considered. Of course, you already had a good reputation to bolster you, but I can't open my door to just anyone.
I knew it. You knew about Gaspari the whole time.
On the contrary, dear boy, I knew nothing of the kind. I suspected a few things. It's hard to hide from me. And when you mentioned how the assailant had worn a mask, it made sense to send you to Batty.
You know, you could have gotten Trix off the hook at any point, couldn't you? A couple of phone calls to the right people and it would have all gone away.
As much as I enjoy a feeling of omnipotence, to say that would be exaggerating. No, I needed to go about it the way I did. I dare say we worked well together.
Not that well.
Your little friend didn't keep you from getting shot yesterday.
True. Enough.
Yes. Well, seeing that that is all that I'm likely to get in terms of gratitude, supposing we change the subject to what will be expected of you.
Suits me fine.
Please, Miss O'Dare, we really should get aboard. There's no need to stay out here in the damp. I have no doubt that Walker will arrange to join you in Paris as soon as possible. He's explained what the situation is to me, and as soon as we're on our way, I'll tell you everything.
What is the situation, Major?
Let's get aboard first, and I'll explain.
Explain now.
Miss O'Dare, the only way I got Walker onto that ship that brought us to your rescue was by not telling him anything until we were safely on our way. Forgive me if I use the same method with you now, if you'll come with me.
But Major, I just can't.
Someone's coming.
Evening, sir. You sailing with us on the Maria Regina?
Yes, indeed.
We're not usually a passenger vessel, sir, so you'll have to bear with us. My understanding is we're all to keep mum about this voyage.
Yeah, so discretion will be appreciated.
All right then. I can help with the bags if you like.
Thank you, and the lady's luggage as well.
What lady, sir?
This lady of... Miss O'Dare! Miss O'Dare! Beatrice!
So help from an unlikely source has saved our heroes from disaster. But is it out of the frying pan into the fire for Walker and O'Dare? Find out next time in Rites of Passage. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by the Capone family of products and the Philadelphia Society for the Preservation of Landmarks, with special thanks to the Here Again Radio Project. The show features the voice talents of Jonathan Elliott Corsi, Loretta Vasili, Kevin Russell, Eric Single, Katie Ochoa, with sound effects by Christopher Price. Written by Loretta Vasili with additional material by Christopher Price. This is your announcer Paul Them saying on behalf of the Mechanical Theater, good night.